which is centered around information technology. And in addition to that, I've been spending about 25, well, maybe even longer now, 25 plus years in the project programming space. So a lot of the work that I do is helping large organizations make shifts away from more conventional, traditional ways of working and managing projects into more agile, more lean types of practices. So there's a lot of almost every company in the world is actively looking for ways to become more lean, more efficient. So really excited to spend some time with everyone here today talking about these topics. And as I mentioned, based here in Houston, Texas. Yahoo!
Thank you for the introduction. So maybe let's start with getting to know each other a little more better. But before that, let me talk about the agenda. So we'll be talking about obviously getting to know more about you, how we can help you out better, understand this program while you're thinking of taking it up, and also why you should choose Lean Six Sigma as a career option. And what does this program offer exactly? And how is this program different from other programs or career options, and what does make this program effective? And we also will be sharing past learners and their success stories as well, and we'll be taking you through the enrollment steps, and we'll be having a special duration for the Q&A part as well. And while I'm telling you this, we already have gotten a question in the Q&A box, so that's great. So I'll just tell you a few ground rules before we start. So you can always put down your questions on the Q&A box. In case you are putting that on chat, I am so sorry, I might miss it because we get a lot of messages on chat and I would love for your question to get answered. So please go and put down your question in the Q&A box. In case you're not able to figure out where is the Q&A box, just browse your screen, you will find a Q&A box there. And I can see the introduction still coming in the chat. That's great. We have gotten a great audience here. And also this session is being recorded. So in case you want a recording of this webinar, you can expect the recording over mail. You'll be getting a link of the recording and also a bonus offer as well, of this program. So awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Please keep your introductions coming in. I'm pretty sure Brian is also loving it, seeing those introductions. So yeah, as I said, let's get to know a little bit about you before we start. So you can see a poll on your screen. So please tell me how much experience do you have? So if you have 0 to 2 years of experience, you can select that option. If you have 3 to 5 years of experience, you can select the second one. If you have 5 to 10 years of experience, you can select the third one. If you have more than 10 years of experience, you can select the fourth one. Awesome. I can see the polls moving in. Folks who are still talking on chat, introducing themselves, please do go and vote for the poll as well, because I would love to know, how much years of experience do you have in order to understand how exactly this program will be helpful for you. That is how Brian can also help you out. So I can see the poll still moving in. We have gotten a great responsive audience here, I must say. A very warm audience, they are very warm with introductions here, even welcoming everyone, from different parts of the world. I'll keep up the poll for 20 more seconds, so you folks have enough time to go and vote. You will see a quick poll on your screen. So how much experience do you have? You just have to select an option and submit it. Meanwhile, I'll just read the introductions on chat. Sorry. Okay, the polls are still moving in. So I think few of the folks who have not voted yet, I would suggest just to go and vote now, because I'll be closing the poll in 10 seconds. So how much experience do you have? Do you have 0 to 2 years of experience? Do you have 3 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years? Do you have more than 10 years of experience? I can see someone replying on chat, but it will be really helpful if you go and vote on the poll also. Awesome. So I'll be closing the poll in 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me end the poll and share the results. So let's see, Brian, what kind of folks we have gotten here. It's surprising that we have more than half of the folks, have more than 10 years of experience. That's great. Mm-hmm. And a few of the folks have 5 to 10 years of experience. Few of the folks have 0 to 2 years and 3 to 5 years experience. Thank you so much for voting. Now, let's start with the program. So we'll be talking about why Lean Six Sigma. So we'll be talking about Lean Six Sigma applies across all industries. Before that, Brian, for those new to Lean Six Sigma, could you explain how the principles of Lean Six Sigma apply to various industries such as healthcare and finance?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, a few things just to kind of get a little more familiar and comfortable with. Lean Six Sigma really is focused on ways in which you can increase your throughput. So, the amount of work, the amount of value you're delivering, and to get as predictable as you can in order to kind of reduce the amount of defects or issues that might occur when you're creating something. So you can imagine almost every organization is going to be interested in finding ways to reduce waste, right? Waste is something that, no one wants to spend money on, and it prevents us from delivering the quality of products we want to. And of course, finding ways to reduce defects is something every organization wants to understand, right? Defects can not just cost you money, but if you, sell something that has a defect in it, it can affect your brand. Who knows? It could lead to, all sorts of issues. So these are things that are really important to organizations. So Lean Six Sigma is all about how do we reduce waste? How do we get our processes very consistent, predictable, and reliable? So in industries like healthcare and finance and supply chains, all those industries have lots and lots of information, lots of data that they're trying to understand and leverage. So Lean Six Sigma is a really important way in which we can look at that information, find ways to get more efficient, more effective, and then unlock all this additional value. And one of the things you're going to hear a lot about as we talk about Lean Six Sigma is this idea of DMAIC, which is just an acronym that stands for Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve, and Control. So this is a very well-established set of practices and processes that help organizations continuously improve. So a big part of this is we're always trying to get better. And whether that's just making little improvements every day, big improvements through a large project or initiative, we're always trying to find ways to kind of improve the work that we're doing.
Oh, that's great. Can you also tell us, what are the range of career options folks can? I think I went to the wrong slide.
Okay.
So sorry. Yeah. So I was talking about what are the range of career options that individuals can pursue in this field. And as also we can see the salaries, the salaries also basically are pretty high in terms of Lean Six Sigma.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's such a great question, Rasha. Obviously, if we're going to invest the time learning these skills and techniques, we want to understand the return we're going to get from it. And a few things this is clearly showing. First off, there's lots of demand for these types of skills. So that role of a quality manager or some kind of process engineer, improvement, efficiency, expertise, all of that organizations are actively looking for. You can see some of the companies that are listed there. These are very marquee companies recognized around the globe: Amazon, Microsoft, LinkedIn, and there's many others. Amazon is certainly leading the charge here, but don't forget Google and Facebook. Companies we're all very familiar with are all looking for these kind of skills. And as a result, they're going to compensate this very, very attractively. So you can see you get a fair amount of, look at that, $116,000 a year. Wouldn't that be nice to kind of rely on and have that coming into your bank account? So, and that's because companies see the value of this as an area that they know that getting highly skilled people in that can do this work is going to actually translate into even bigger savings for the organization. So that's a big reason we're seeing so much interest in these roles.
There's definitely plenty of demand, when it comes to Lean Six Sigma. Definitely agree with that. And also, there are plenty of career options as well, which individuals can pursue within this dynamic field. Can you take us through these career options?
Yeah, what makes this a little bit exciting, as you pointed out, is you've got lots of paths you can follow and lots of levels you can progress through. So we can see the starting point. You start as a quality engineer, you're getting close to the solution. You're kind of really understanding how something's getting made, how something's getting distributed. And that's where we're going to learn techniques like lean management. Lean management is sort of mapping out the process, looking for places where we have waste, a delay, maybe re-entering data from one system to the next, that's not actually adding value. So quality engineers are looking for ways to kind of improve the quality by removing waste. And they're going to use techniques like Minitab, which is a statistical analytical tool. And then this Lean Six Sigma Green Belt, which is a great way to demonstrate that you've got proven skills that you've applied, and then you can showcase back to your employer or maybe a potential employer to demonstrate you really know what you're doing. But then quickly you see kind of move up the ladder, right? You become a quality manager. And that's when we start introducing ideas like Agile. How can we organize teams in a way that they can deliver value effectively by collaborating well together, interacting? And then finally, that program manager level, that's a place where suddenly we introduce ideas like digital transformations. How can we shift an organization away from more manual types of processes into digital ones that are supported by software? So that's a big focus for many organizations right now, because that allows them to even unlock more value.
Wow, that's great. We do have a lot of career options here, which folks can take up. Now, so we have talked about the basically, the salaries. We have talked about the skills needed. So I'm pretty sure you're here because you are interested in the Lean Six Sigma program, right? So what exactly is stopping you is something we will have to understand before we go forward. So, so you can see a quick poll on your screen. For folks who have not able to vote earlier, so just to let you know, you will see a quick poll on your screen. All you need to do is you can select multiple options here. So what exactly is stopping you from taking this Lean Six Sigma certification in general? So if you can't find a fully comprehensive curriculum, you can select the first option. If you feel like you wouldn't get the practical exposure you need to become a Lean Six Sigma expert, you can select the second one. And if you feel like I find it really difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos, you can select the third one. If you feel like my work schedule won't allow enough time for learning, so you can select the fourth one. You can select multiple options as well. This is just to understand what exactly is stopping you from taking this Lean Six Sigma certification before we move forward. And again, I'm saying that we have gotten a very responsive and attentive audience here. The polls are still moving. Most of the folks have already voted for the poll. So this is a very quick poll to understand what exactly is stopping you so we can help you better when talking about the program review of Lean Six Sigma from UMass Amherst Isenberg School of Management. So yeah, I can see folks are still choosing which one to vote for. The polls are still moving. I'll be sharing the poll results in some time. Basically, what exactly is the biggest concern? We'll be talking about that as well. Okay, I'll be closing the poll in 10 seconds. So few of the folks who have not voted can go and select what exactly is stopping you from taking the Lean Six Sigma certification. What are the issues? Basically, what is the biggest concern? For this poll, you can select multiple options and submit it. Only I can see few folks have not voted. I would suggest just go and vote because I'll be closing the poll in 10 seconds. So yeah. Okay, awesome. 5 more seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2. Still moving. 1. Okay, I'll share the results. Okay, so we can see, Brian, the biggest concern here is I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become a Lean Six Sigma expert. And the second one being also the biggest concern that my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. And I can see some of them have voted for I can't find a fully comprehensive curriculum. And a few of them have voted that I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. So thank you so much for sharing what exactly is your biggest concern. So let's move on to more about the program. So the UMass Amherst Isenberg School of Management program postgraduate program in Lean Six Sigma actually gives you a comprehensive curriculum with an industry-aligned learning path. You also get to work on case studies, hands-on projects, and simulated tests for practical experience, which we are going to talk about more moving further. And you get access to online live virtual classrooms with peer and instructor interaction, and also flexible to fit your lifestyle and schedule. So this program duration is of 6 months, and you can just complete this by giving 5 to 10 hours per week. Also, we have like few advantages in this program. This is powered by KPMG, and the content provider here is Harvard Business Publishing. So this program for UMass Amherst is an industry learning path. Just one question, like Brian, what happens in the live learning classroom? Do they experience only like a live lecture, or does it offer more than that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And obviously, some folks pointed out that they just don't get as much from watching pre-recorded videos. So I think one of the more powerful features of this program is the fact that you will have access to online live virtual sessions. You'll have interaction with instructors like me. To your point, Rasha, it's not just me talking directly to the participants. We're actually engaging in conversations. So you have an opportunity to bring up questions and say, hey, this is something I'm dealing with in my organization and the projects or initiatives I'm working with. And we can use that as a place to have some conversations about how these techniques can help you. So it's very interactive. I think people that join, and one of the interesting things I noticed, as you pointed out, almost half the people here have 10 years of experience. And what makes that really interesting is that experience from your peers is going to be really helpful, because they're going to bring that into the conversation. You're going to be learning sometimes as much from your peers, these colleagues, and as you pointed out, great networking opportunity, right?
Yeah.
And as well as instructors. So this is a great experience for folks. It really blends in so many different parts of that learning experience. And everyone that leaves it always feels like they've learned so much that they can take forward and apply.
Wow, that's really amazing. And also, like, is it possible to complete this program in 6 months with just 5 to 10 hours per week?
Yeah, absolutely. The program is designed to be completed in that duration. The 5 to 10 hours is what's recommended. Now, I will say I took my MBA online while I was, growing my family and working in different types of jobs. Of course, at a point in my career where you're putting a lot of energy and effort into your work. So online learning is a really great fit for that. And one of the things Simplilearn's done a remarkable job on, and this is the benefit of them being in this space for so long, is all their educational tools and products are geared for easy access. You can access on your laptop, on your tablet, on your cell phone. You have a lunch break. You can do some of your learning then. If it's the evening, you put the kids down. Dinner's finished. This is a good time to start doing some learning. So it really fits into the lifestyle for many people at this point in their career where they're juggling work and family. This sort of fits nicely into those slots.
Wow, that's great. And why you told me that you also took an online course, right, during that tenure of your life. So how did you reach to that level of productivity in order to, complete that course as well?
Yeah, so exactly right. It was all online, and it allowed you to kind of do this when it was convenient. Of course, one of the things we're going to look at a little bit later is the community forums. So some of your participants in your cohort, the group of people entering the program at the same time, are going to be different parts of the world. So you might be asleep while one of your colleagues is posting a question. You can wake up, you can add to it. Your instructor is going to join in. So it really does fit very nicely your kind of lifestyle and the time that you have available to apply to your learning. So that 5 to 10 hours is not one steady block. It's an hour here, it's 2 hours there, it's 30 minutes, maybe even 15 minutes across the course of a week.
Wow, that's great. Also, let's talk about what exactly this program offers. So the program benefits and offerings. So you get a UMass Amherst postgraduate program certification. Also with that, you get 150 hours of applied learning from curriculum aligned from PMI, ACP, and other certifications. You also get to work on 3 Harvard case studies, 17 hands-on projects, and other simulation exams as well. You also get to work on capstone projects, that too in 3 different domains. You get to earn 122 PDUs to maintain your CCR for PMI related certifications. You also get access to masterclasses by faculty from UMass Amherst, Eisenberg, and senior consultants from KPMG, which we are going to talk about a little more later. And you get the UMass Amherst alumni membership as well. That is really interesting because while you're doing this course, you also basically create a network of folks coming from diverse industries, and you get to be a part of this alumni membership even post the certification as well. That's pretty great. And also 9 credits which are transferable to a UMass Amherst Eisenberg online MBA. Also, what exactly is the advantage, right? Like, so we are going to go towards the UMass Amherst Eisenberg advantage. So here's a fascinating fact. Like, did you know that the UMass Amherst University was founded over a century ago, and then it got renowned as Eisenberg School of Management, that traces back its origin to 1947. Isn't that interesting? Brian, can you tell us more about the UMass Amherst Eisenberg advantage?
Yeah, for sure. One of the things about the University of Massachusetts Amherst is it's just a very well-recognized institution, and not just in the United States, but globally. So if you've got that UMass Amherst credential on your resume and your LinkedIn profile, it's really going to stand out. It's really going to separate you from a lot of other people that are working in the same field. And just as you pointed out, I mean, the fact that it's 130 years old, that really speaks to how effective and successful it's been. There's not many organizations. In fact, I think one of the statistics I saw is less than 1% of organizations are able to last more than 100 years. So the fact that UMass Amherst is at this point is a real demonstration of how strong they are, how good they are. So, and, as you pointed out too, I think a really important part of this, it's, certainly it's important to have a well-recognized institution on your resume, but perhaps as important, more important, is the networking opportunities. You'll have a group of other people that have had a similar set of experiences, and they're all going to be similar points in their career. And as they progress upwards, you're going to be, kind of connected with them, engaged with them, learning with them, maybe finding opportunities through them.
Wow, that's great. And also having UMass Amherst in your CV is basically a prestigious accreditation recognized worldwide. So that's also a good plus. And we talked about the KPMG advantage. So the KPMG advantage comes basically with a lot of projects you can work on, dedicated mentoring, real world case studies, master classes you will have an access to, and Ask Me Anything sessions as well. KPMG is one of the big 4 consulting firms with a presence in over 140 countries. So that's a really good advantage to have as well. How is this program different from other programs? So this program basically gets you job ready and basically with an industry aligned curriculum and learning path. So we'll be talking more about that. Brian, can you take us through step by step how exactly this program helps you build your skills and gets you job ready?
Yeah, absolutely. So we can see that there's a couple of steps here. We're going to start with the foundation, really get everyone comfortable with what lean management really represents. So learning about the concepts, how to kind of apply them in real world settings, looking for ways in which we can streamline processes to reduce waste. So that's sort of the first step. Then as we see, we'll kind of progress on from there. We, not sure if you can advance the slide for us here, Rasha.
Just one second. Is it not visible to you?
Oh, yeah, I just see step 1.
Okay. Just one second. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Apologies.
So the next one is when we start introducing some of these other methodologies, these agile methodologies. So if you're not super familiar with what agile really represents, it primarily focuses on creating small, high-performing teams that work in short time box iterations or periods, and then they incrementally add work through each one of them. So you'll learn a lot about Agile. You'll get an Agile certification from the world-renowned Project Management Institute, and that's going to give you a really good platform to take these ideas and then work with teams so they can be more effective and efficient. And once you've done that, then we're going to start weaving in some new concepts, particularly around statistical analysis. And we're going to use some tools like Minitab. And Minitab is a statistical analysis product that's going to help you take large sets of data and look for things like patterns and statistical variations that might occur so you know where to focus your lean practices and expertise. And once we've got you to that point, then we've really opened up the door to let you get your certification as a Lean Six Sigma green belt. So there's 2 levels, green belt, then the black belt. So we're going to start with the green belt and then step into the black belt. So you're going to leave with both of those certifications, which again, very well recognized. And then we're going to talk about digital transformations, how you can help organizations that are all taking advantage of this shift into digital transformation. Now, many of you have probably heard about, Chat GPT, that's all the excitement and the rage these days. Well, it's really focused on artificial intelligence and machine learning. So organizations are taking those ideas, they're applying them into their organizational structure. They're looking at their data. So healthcare, financial services, supply chain, they have huge reams of data. And they want to understand that how that data can be used to be more effective, more efficient, increase their throughput. And that's where actually a lot of this AI machine learning is starting to come into play. So really exciting time, particularly if you're just now getting introduced to this space, because it's about to lift off. You have no idea. The clients I'm working with, they're all heavily invested in that whole digital transformation space. Now, we close things off with what's called a capstone project. I know we're going to talk a bit more about this later, Rasha, but really the capstone project is just a way in which we bring all these skills that you've learned through those previous steps together, and you can showcase them in solving a real-world business challenge that you can use to demonstrate to your current employer or a future employer that you've got these skills that they can leverage to bring you into position. And then we close it off, of course, with your certificate of completion. It's ready for framing. You can hang on the wall, add it to LinkedIn, your resume, and you're done.
Wow, that's great. I'm actually looking forward to the learning environment as well. Also, we'll be talking about the program outcomes. Brown, will you elaborate what participants can gain from this program, especially in terms of combining lean practices and Six Sigma techniques for process improvement?
For sure. Yeah, one thing just to kind of bring to your attention, the first off is you're going to hear a lot of different terms here like DMAIC and, Six Sigma and, upper and lower control limits, all those. But at the end of the day, it's very simple. We're just trying to reduce waste. We're just trying to find ways in which we can reduce inefficiencies. And the larger an organization is, oftentimes the more those efficiencies exist. So we're all about fighting those waste measures, finding ways in which we reduce those, reduce the number of defects that occur. So that's really what Lean and Six Sigma is all about. Now, how do we do that? Well, first off, if we've got a defect or we've got some waste, we need to go to the root source. What's the root cause of that? We need to solve those problems. So we're going to teach skills in how you can analyze the root cause of some of those defects and that waste. We're going to introduce well-structured processes like DMAIC that define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. It's going to show you how you get to identify the root causes and what you can do once you've identified them. We'll introduce some projects and how you can kind of leverage your experience in these projects and help your own organization get better at reducing waste. All sorts of different techniques. We're going to talk about things like, the 5 S's, the waste reduction techniques, process mapping, really instrumental, as well as value stream mapping. How is value delivered across your organization? Mistake proofing, we sometimes call that poka-yokes, which is sort of a Japanese term, talks about making something mistake proof. A person can't cause a defect or an issue. And then, of course, statistical analysis. This is the math part of the program. Don't be intimidated, though. I'm not really a math expert, and I was able to do it all without too much difficulty. But the statistical analysis is a very valuable tool that helps you identify where you should be focusing your energy in reducing waste and defects.
Wow, that's really amazing. And also, like they get to master in-demand project management frameworks and tools in this program. Basically, can you explain about this project management frameworks and tools? I'm pretty sure there are many more than this, right? Like what we're seeing on the slide.
This is and many more at the bottom. But on the left-hand column, you see we've got DMAIC, we've got Agile, we've got that PMI, which is the Project Management Body of Knowledge, or PMBOK, and we got Lean Six Sigma. So those are frameworks. Those are ways in which we are going to look for and solve problems and understand how we're progressing. And those are really valuable so we can organize teams and programs and initiatives. And on the right-hand side, we're going to leverage some tools. So we talked a little about Minitab, statistical analysis tool, but other tools are Jira. Jira is a work management tool. It's going to help understand what work needs to get done, who's working on things, how do we track our progress. We've got, of course, Microsoft Office, because we're going to use Word and Excel and PowerPoint to present our ideas and share that with stakeholders and leadership. And then finally, we've got Microsoft Project, which is a really indispensable tool to help us organize our work and make sure we're on track, on schedule. If there's issues or problems, we know when they're occurring so we can get them resolved. So what's nice about this is you walk out of this 6-month program with skills in all these areas. And these are very highly sought after skills that organizations are looking for.
Wow, that's great. So we also have like leading practitioners in this Lean Six Sigma program. Matt Joseph, who has 10 years of experience and has a master in black belt in Lean Six Sigma, and chain professional supply management, and many more. And we have Anita Stalin, who has 17 years of experience and is certified Lean Six Sigma black belt with proficiency in QC, QA, Kappa, and Lean Six Sigma management, and many more. And we also have Parul Chaudhary here with us, who has 14 years of experience in PMP, PMI, and design thinking, and much more. And we have global leaders as program advisors: Alan Robinson, who is a professor in operations management in University of Massachusetts Amherst, and Michelle Birch, who is a senior lecturer in Essendon School of Management. So basically, they make sure that Simplilearn is delivering, as per the standards, and also what makes this program effective. We are going to talk about that. So basically, this bootcamp will help you learn the right skills for today's top cloud computing roles. And the live sessions will be delivered by leading experts. You will get job-ready training via skill-based learning, and applied learning via interactive HBS case studies and projects. Cohort-based learning with peer collaboration, which we have already talked about. We'll be talking about that more. And obviously, a 24/7 learning support as well. You'll be getting through this. You also will be getting an experience of immersive learning, a live classroom experience, learn from the global practitioners and experts, and perfect your skills with hands-on projects. We also will be getting to work on Harvard case studies and projects, which we have talked about initially, that this program will offer you that. Brian, would love to know that how does having a Harvard case study and a project on your resume boost your basically job searching, process?
Yeah, great question. So a few things, if you're not really familiar with Harvard case studies, of course, these come from the Harvard School of Business, which is probably the preeminent school of business organization in the world. They publish a monthly paper, the Harvard Business Review, and in that are case studies. And now, one of the things that's really powerful with the Harvard case studies is, first off, they're very real world. They are talking about things that are happening today in organizations across the globe. The second thing is they're written by leading experts. These are folks teaching these concepts and ideas who are working with some of the largest organizations in the world to kind of solve very difficult problems. You can see some of the examples here. Best Buy merging Lean Six Sigma with innovation. What an interesting challenge, right? How do we find ways which we can blend this idea, but being really efficient and reducing waste, with the need at times to innovate, which oftentimes when we're innovating, we're experimenting. And sometimes experiments don't always work out. We're going to have some waste that comes out of it. So there's some reasonable tensions there. How do we solve that? So you can see that's a classic example of a Harvard case study. It's challenging. It's thought-provoking. It's very contemporary and real world. And you can see the other ones here fall into the same sort of flavor, where we're kind of working with well-recognized organizations and looking at problems that they are struggling with, and then how can we take these techniques to help solve those problems. So this really prepares you. The whole thing, I can talk theory all day long, but what you're really interested in is how do we take the theory and apply it? And these are the case studies that we're going to leverage to help you get better with that.
Wow, that's great. And as we have talked earlier, that we also have a capstone project, which basically they can showcase to their future employers. That also acts as an advantage on a resume when you are trying to search for a job, you're trying to get job ready as well. I'm pretty sure like maybe folks who have not heard about capstone, Brian, can you tell us them more about a capstone project?
Sure. Yeah. So that term capstone itself sort of implies it's the last stone that you put on. It's going to cap what it is you've been building on. And in this case, remember the steps that we showed where we're learning lean management and some of these agile practices and the tooling, et cetera. So we're going to take all those skills and we're going to leverage one of those real world business scenarios. And that come from the Harvard Business Review, Harvard School of Management. And we're going to apply these techniques in a way that you can showcase what you've learned. Now, here's what makes this, I think, really effective. The first off is it's not you working in isolation. You're partnering with your instructors. They are there, people like me who have a lot of real world experience out in the field, 30 plus years working with clients. So we'll be there to give you feedback. We'll be there to help you strengthen this project so you can really showcase all the skills you have. So you're learning as you're applying these skills, and you're going to be able to bring that back to your employers or some new potential employer to kind of show that you really know how to do this.
Wow, that's awesome. And also we have like multiple capstone projects that you're working on in telecommunications domain and healthcare domain and 4 more. So yeah, and the end of it all, you will be getting a UMass Amherst postgraduate certificate, which you can see on the screen. And you will be receiving 9 credits transferable to an online MBA with Isenberg School of Management. You'll be getting 120 PDUs for maintaining your CCR with PMI related certifications. And you'll be a part of Alumni Association membership from UMass Amherst University as well. You also will be getting, guidance on how to prepare for Lean Six Sigma Green Belt and Black Belt certifications. Now let's talk about the eligibility. So you don't have to come from a programming background. You can be from a non-programming background. You need to have a bachelor's degree in any discipline, and you need to have at least 5 years of experience in any work field. Brian, so folks who come from a non-programming background, have you seen the students succeed while taking up this course?
Yeah, absolutely. For a few reasons. First off, although we will be doing some statistical analysis, and that does mean you're going to rely on some light programming techniques. How do you gather data, or write some queries against the data, but you're not going to find that terribly overwhelming if you don't have a programming background. But again, a lot of what this program really emphasizes is understanding how work is flowing and identifying where there are gaps or wastes that are occurring. So a non-programming background is completely reasonable and acceptable for this domain. And if you do have to have a little bit more of a aptitude around programming, mathematics, well, great. You're probably going to get a lot from the time we're spending in the statistical analysis.
Wow, that's great. Also, can you take us through the learning environment so folks can get an idea exactly what happens, when you take up this course?
Yeah. And that's, I think, a really important question to kind of answer and show people. So I might need your help here, Rashi. You probably just need to give me permissions to present. And then let's take a look at the Simplilearn learning management system.
Sure. I think you'll be able to share your screen. Can you please try? I'll stop sharing.
Okay. Yeah, I think it just says host disabled persistent screen sharing. So you might need to kind of promote me.
Yes. Can you try now?
Sure. There we go. Wonderful. Let's take a look at this together. Okay, so we're not going to spend a lot of time with this, but I want to give you a little flavor of what your experience is going to look like. And one of the things I just want to start out with, what makes Simplilearn, I think, one of the leaders in this space is really their vision from the very start of their organization was, how do we make this accessible and really user-friendly to our learners? So a couple things I like about this is you're going to log in. This is the initial login screen. And, you immediately probably recognize that, hey, you know what? This isn't overwhelming. We've got these tiles, and each tile represents a different program. Hey, now, of course, as an instructor, I tend to have a few more here. You might only have one, so it should be kind of easy to stay focused. We have our master's programs. So let's click on one of these. And again, very easy to access the content that you're going to be learning from. Notice a few things. When we look at sort of where we are, this one is the UMass Graduate Program Project Management. We can see that there's a nice status bar that shows where you are. Of course, I'm just starting here, so it's 0% of learning, but you'll be able to track your progress visually as you're working through the material. Notice we've got 3 tabs here for courses, electives, and certification. So the courses are the core material that you're going to be focusing on, but the electives are sort of those optional courses that you can take. You can take them all if you want to, and they're going to help strengthen some of the skills and learning that you're taking. And of course, everything finishes off with your certification. But let's dig into a few of these a little bit more. So we've got, of course, our welcome class. One thing to be aware of is when you join, you're part of a cohort. You're going to join with a number of other learners at the same time, and you're all going to be learning together. So you're going to be able to work with your colleagues. You have a question, or you've got a way to help them, or they can help you. You're going to have that opportunity. And then we're going to dig into the courses themselves. So let's click on this first one. What you're going to see that all the courses are the same layout. You can see we've got some self-learning here. Okay, so this is a great way to kind of learn material as you're maybe taking a break. You've got some time on the weekend that you're able to kind of get to your laptop or your tablet. This is all accessible through any number of devices. You can see that they're all supported by videos. So it's very accessible. You can see on the right-hand side, we also have sort of our chapters. So you can track your progress. You can also go back and review something that maybe you felt you needed to spend a little bit more time with. You can see we've got clear sections, creating a high-performance team. How do you start work, do work, keep the team on track, etc. Now, we also have live classes. So you can take this particular course independently, kind of self-learning, and you can also join a live class. And the live class is going to have a schedule. You can click on that and then find when these courses are going to be offered. You can join the live classes. You can, if you've already taken one, you can still take another one if you want to, hear the material again. And then at the end, we have some assessments. Now, this one's for the project management certification, which is one of the certifications you can get. The other one is the Agile certifications. And what Simplilearn has made available is some practice assessments. Now, mine's expired right now, but you can take this. It's going to time you, it's going to track your results, and it's going to give you feedback on areas that you can continue to improve on. So this is a great way to really understand, have you learned these concepts? So notice again, the layout, very intuitive, very friendly. It's very device friendly. You can see this on your tablet, on your cell phone. And you just kind of progress through each one of these courses. Here's the next one, Agile Scrum Master. Notice that, again, it's the same look and feel, right? So it's going to feel quite familiar. You're going to see a startup screen. If I advance forward a little bit, you're going to see so there's high quality presentation material that Simplilearn has developed, very impactful. You notice too that we've got reference materials you can access, case studies, the slides too, if you want to download these, look at them offline. You've got lots of great options that are going to support your learning needs. So that's a little bit about what's called a learning management system, or LMS. Okay, and again, we're not going to go too deep into it. Hopefully you're picking up the flavor of what it does. The other thing I just want to bring to your attention is something you mentioned, Rasha, which is community. So Simplilearn has a very vibrant community that you can join as part of your learning experience. And you'll notice we've got different areas here that you can click on. and won't spend again, a lot of time in each one of these. This one I don't think it's actually started yet. It's coming up shortly, but you'll have a place that you can post questions. And these are monitored by the instructors and by Simplilearn facilitators. So you're always going to get a response. Your colleagues and peers can be part of that conversation. And it's just a great way to engage with the other members of your cohort as well as with your instructor. So you might bring, hey, I saw this in the news today. What do you think about this? Or, hey, this is a challenge I'm experiencing in my work environment. Any ideas on how we can work together and solving some of these challenges. So I think the communities is a really, really important part of the learning experience. And it's a great place for you to also be spending some time outside of the learning management system. Okay, so Raj, I think that covers it. Was there anything else you think we need to cover?
No, thank you for taking us to the learning environment. Thank you so much, Brian. Let me share my screen back.
Okay.
Yes, so we were talking about the eligibility. Now moving on to the past learners and their success stories. So the interesting part here is that we get learners from excellent organizations and diverse industries. As you can see that folks are coming from IT, manufacturing, BFSI, healthcare, software, and others. And they're coming from companies like Amazon, VMware, LinkedIn, Microsoft, IBM, Accenture. And I'll be taking you through the enrollment steps as well. So the enrollment steps are very easy. The step one is you need to submit an application to us at askus@simplilearn.net. And your application will be going for a review. And once your application is reviewed, we will be actually sending you an admission letter, and you'll be getting a call from a learning consultant from Simplilearn as well. The session starts on October 28th, basically the current one, which is the upcoming one. And the induction for this will start on 9th of October. We usually take only 25 to 30 folks per cohort in order to make sure that you're getting all attention. And we also have like limited seats available per cohort. So if you're making a decision to start it from 20th of October, I would suggest to take it up now. So and also for US candidates, the price is $2,299 USD only, and for Indian candidates, the price is 97,999 INR, including the GST. Also, folks who are joining from other countries as well, you can go and check out this particular course as per your country, region, and all, and the pricing will be almost the same. So so tell us, like, are you interested in enrolling in the program? So you can see a quick poll on your screen here right now. If you are interested, if you're looking basically to go into the Lean Six Sigma career option, I would suggest that this is a really good option to start with, as Brian has explained. And you can see a quick poll on your screen where you can see a yes option where you would like to enroll in this program. And then basically the upcoming cohort starts on 20th of October. So yeah, I can see the poll still moving in, and I can see folks basically are really interested in joining the program. The interest is coming as yes, most of them. So I'll keep the polls on for a few more seconds while you're voting in. So would love to know your interest. Like, are you interested in enrolling in this Lean Six Sigma program? Okay, I can still see the polls moving. So I will give you enough time to go and vote for this one. If you can see a quick poll on your screen. So yeah, think about it. Like, would you like to enroll in this program? Are you thinking about this as a career option? So I would recommend to go and explore it first, because while you say yes here, you will be getting a call from a learning consultant from Simplilearn who actually will be taking you through this program as well in much more detail. I'm pretty sure you have questions. And while you're doing this, we actually are getting a lot of questions in the Q&A throughout the session and even now. So we'll be taking those questions as well while you're voting. So just after this poll, quick poll. So I'll be closing the poll in 10 seconds. I'll give you 10 seconds more as the polls are still moving in few of the folks who have not voted yet. So are you interested in enrolling in this program? So you can select an option yes. If you're not, you can select an option no. On the quick poll you can see on your screen. So I'll be closing the poll in 5 seconds, and we will be taking the questions from the Q&A box after this. So we have gotten a lot of interesting questions from the Q&A box. Okay, so I'll be closing the poll now. Okay, I can see that more than 70% of the folks actually are interested in the program. So we have gotten learners who actually are very curious about this program and actually want to take it up. That's really great. Let's move on to the Q&A part of this webinar. So we have gotten a lot of interesting questions. So let me start with a few of the questions. Okay, we have gotten a lot of questions. So I think the first one being, during the 6-month program, how often would I be tested, or how many projects assignment would be required to do? Brian, can you help us with that?
Yeah, so there will be some assignments, of course, and how many is going to depend a little bit on which one of the courses you're taking. But your instructor will give you a syllabus that will explain to you what's expected and the due date. So it's going to feel a little bit like your college or post-secondary education experience. There will be tests anytime there's a certification required. There is a test necessary. These tests are actually administered through separate organizations. So we have the Project Management Institute as their certification exams. We've got Lean Six Sigma organizations will support the Lean Six Sigma exam. So it really depends on those. So those tests, I'll just be kind of honest with you, they're pretty challenging. These are hard exams. But the whole intent of this program, what Simplilearn is a specialist in, is helping you pass hard exams. So you're going to get lots of support along the way. And I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but I know, Rasha, generally speaking, the pass rate is maybe not exactly 100%, but very close to 100%. It's very, very high.
Wow, that's great. I hope, Ali, that answers your question. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, what certificate do you get from this program? Is it globally recognized? So you get a UMass Amherst Isenberg School of Management certificate, and it is globally recognized. We have already talked about that. Okay, I think I have asked you this question. Is the 5 to 10 hours per week just the weekly 2 sessions, or that's inclusive of some average additional study time that would be required with the 2 weekly sessions? Yeah, I think, Brian, can you help us with this?
Yeah, I think that's accurate. It's inclusive of all the average additional study time. So it's not just taking the courses, it's what's expected for you to get better with, applying these ideas and concepts. So it includes, reading material, answering the project assignments and the case study. So all that is in that 5 to 10 hours a week.
I hope this answers your question, Ali. Ali has one more question. What happens if I don't do well in a test or a project or assignment?
Yeah, you know what? I think we're all a little concerned about that at times. But the important part of this is you will have access to a whole learning environment here. So people like myself, Simplilearn facilitators, your peers, we're all there. We're going to be available to help you succeed. And what Simplilearn puts as its highest priority is the success of its students. So when you need help, it's really just a question of asking for help. If you're struggling with maybe some of the practice exams, that's okay. I had challenges with some of the ones I wrote too. So you just talk to your instructor and you say, hey, could you help explain these concepts a little bit more to me so I can be successful in that exam?
Exactly. We have a 24/7 learning support available as well. You can always, reach out to the learning support as well. I hope that answers your question. The next one is by Saki. I have done Lean Six Sigma, Green Belt training, and given test from my company's e-learning platform. Do you think I still need this program?
I think with Saqib, what I might suggest is, and by the way, congratulations, it's great that you've got that background. That's going to be a great input because we are absolutely going to take that and we're going to expand it. So you're going to learn all sorts of other skills and techniques that are going to complement your current Six Sigma Green Belt training. And we're going to build on that. We're going to get you to black belt, as well as enhance it with some of these other techniques and skills. So, I think there's lots of great opportunity for you in this program with that background.
I hope that helps you, Sakib. I know Sakib left like just a few minutes back that he will see the recording, but he was here. Okay, I can see one question. How can I go about becoming a black belt?
Yeah, well, this is what the program's intended to do. It's going to help you understand how you get your black belts. Simplilearn will be there along with the University of Amherst, and we'll get you ready to take your black belt certification. Now, I will say, the black belt certification is going to require you to kind of put together examples of work, and there will be some tests involved in that, but it'll all be explained to you in the program.
Yeah, I hope that answers your question. I can see... So must the postgraduate program be taken in 6 months, or I can do it in a lesser time?
Well, we do want you to kind of maintain pace with the cohort. So, you'll probably need to take the full 6 months. These courses are going to start at specific times. We want you to learn with the others in the program. Now, whether that means you can do a little faster, spend a little bit more time, getting ahead. That's a little bit up to you, but generally speaking, we're going to expect you to take the full 6 months.
I hope that answers your question. I think someone in the chat has asked, like, how long is this course and what is the cost? I think I've already shared that, but I'll just share it again. So the course is of 6 months duration, and the price for US candidates is $2,299. I hope that helps. Okay, about the recording, you'll be getting the recording of the webinar post-webinar over email with a link to view the recording in case you want to go through it again. So that is the answer. So how much is the program? Are there subsidies or sponsorship opportunities or installment payment plan available? So yes, so there is an installment payment plan available, which you will be getting to know from the learning consultant. They will take you through the financing options available. If you're joining basically from the US side or India side or any rest of the world. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. I can see one question from Tony. The prerequisite of 5 years work experience is just that 5 years of work experience in general, or 5 years of work experience in Six Sigma or quality management?
Yeah, the simple answer to that is 5 years of work experience in general. If it happens to be in Six Sigma quality management, fantastic, but it doesn't need to be.
I hope that answers your question, Tony. Okay. Let me see. We are getting a lot more questions right now. Okay. Okay, I can see one question. I see some training in Agile and PMP. Does the course offer these certifications as part of the learning experience?
Yes, they do. So you will have an opportunity to kind of get your PMP, your ACP, or Agile Certified Professional certification. So you'll have access to all those. And you'll have lots of new acronyms put at the end of your name once you've completed the program.
Okay, I can see Bharat has asked, like, I have only BCom degree. Is it eligible to enroll in this particular course?
Oh, sorry, the BCom degree, is that the question?
Yeah, like
he has. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
BCom is a Bachelor's of Commerce is a well-recognized degree. So yeah, that would absolutely be eligible to enroll in the program.
Awesome. I hope that answers your question. I can see I did green belt training years ago, but did not do the exams. Do I still need this training?
Well, I think if you did it years ago, you're probably going to get a lot from refreshing a little bit. And don't forget, it's not just that one topic around the Lean Six Sigma Green Belt. It's also Agile. It's some of the tooling. It's the digital transformation. So it's very enriched. So yes, I would think you'd get quite a bit of additional value from taking this.
Awesome. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Is there any value in auditing the course? Bill has asked this question.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't think this is the type of course you would generally need to audit. Audit basically means you're going to take the course, but not take the exams. Yeah, that's a little bit more oriented for more traditional university settings. So this one is a little more geared to people that just want to get the certification, learn the skills, and apply them. So I'm not even sure we have an audit option available, but you really would need it for this one.
I hope that answers your question, Bill. I can see one question. What if the 6 months duration is not sufficient for a candidate? Is there any way to extend it?
Well, that would be a question you'd really have to take up with your instructor and with the Simplilearn facility. I know, we're certainly aware that we all have, sometimes life happens, right? We might have something we didn't expect occur. So we're very familiar with that. We'll absolutely work with any students that need some additional help extending their time. So it's just a question of having that conversation, bringing it up, and then working with us so we can set something up for you.
Awesome. I think we'll be taking one last question. What is required to get certificate as black belt after the course is completed?
Sorry, what is...
I can see this one question on chat here. If in case you're looking, I'll just share it with you.
Oh, it's a chat question. Oh, okay. So what do we need to do to get the certificate? Is that the question?
Yeah. So what is required to get certified as black belt after the course is completed?
Oh, got it. Yes. Yeah. So that again will be explained during the course. What is required? There's usually a couple things you got to demonstrate that you, of course, know the skills through some kind of test exam, and then the other is that you actually work up a project that you can use to show that you can apply these techniques. So that will all be part of the program. So you'll get a lot of support doing that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian, for helping us with the queries from the learners that we have gotten here. So I just have one more question. How soon are you planning to enroll in this program? So I'm pretty sure if you have answered yes, please go ahead with immediately. I would suggest because the next cohort starts in 28th of October. But I'm pretty sure like a lot of you are thinking, okay, not immediately. I am interested in this program, but I still need a little more time. So you can select other 3 options within 3 months. If you're planning to start, is a good time to start because there's another cohort coming up in December. And you can join that cohort as well. So if you're planning to start immediately, you can select the first option. So how soon do you plan to enroll in this Lean Six Sigma program? You can just quickly submit your answer on a poll you're seeing on your screen right now. And meanwhile, you're doing that, just to let you know, you have been a great audience, a very warm audience with a lot of introductions coming from different parts of the world. And it's great to have you here in this webinar. Okay, I see one more question. Okay, it's not related to Lean Six Sigma. Sorry, we can't take it today. So sorry. Okay, I can see the poll still moving in. So a few of the folks who have not voted yet. So please go and vote, like how soon do you plan to enroll? So folks who have already selected yes, they are interested. I would suggest to go for the immediate program because it actually is starting in some time. So it's starting like on 20th of October. So there's still time for that. If you are still thinking about, like, okay, I need some more time, then you can select the within 3 months option, within 6 months option, or more than 6 months from now, if you still need more time. So please let us know. That is how we can, help you out as well. So how soon do you plan to enroll? So I'll be keeping this poll for 10 more seconds. Please go ahead and vote for that. Meanwhile, I'll be just checking the chat if we have any more questions, because you've taken almost all the questions. Awesome. So I'll be closing the poll in 10 seconds. It's still moving. Okay. Few of the folks who have not voted, just go and vote. Like, how soon do you plan to enroll? Awesome. I'll be closing the poll in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, awesome. I can see that most of the folks want to join immediately or within 3 months. And few of the folks are still thinking within 6 months or 6 months from now. So that's amazing. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much, Brian, for taking us through this program. And thank you for answering all the queries which we have gotten from the folks. We'll be ending the session now, and we'll be seeing you in another session with Brian soon. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, Rasha. Thanks, everyone.